inside the Varsity Center on the only Margolis Athletic Center, the OMAC, on the campus of Brown University, for our coverage of the defending Ivy League champion Brown women's soccer team's Media Day. I'm your host, Scott Cordischi, manager of broadcasting here at Brown University. Happy to have you with us. The three-time defending Ivy League champion women's soccer team having its Media Day today, and we are covering it for you. We will talk to head coach Kia McNeill. We'll talk to some of the players as the team looks to win a fourth straight Ivy title this season. Let's take a look back at last season, and boy, what a season it was for the Bears. Again, third consecutive Ivy League championship, an overall record of 13 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. They were perfect in conference play, 5-0-1, and again, champions of the Ivy League for the third consecutive season, and they will be the favorites once again to win the Ivy championship this year. And we will talk to, again, Kia McNeil and some of the players from this year's team as you take a look back at some of those season highlights from a year ago. And boy, there were many. Brittany Ruffino, another fantastic year, Ivy League Player of the Year and a first-team All-American. She was just terrific, as was Ava Seelenfreud as well. Just another magnificent season for Ava and the Bears. And again, 3 consecutive Ivy titles. They have really become the gold standard for women's soccer in the Ivy League. And we will talk to many members of the team throughout the course of the next hour or so. We'll tell you how you can get your hands on tickets to upcoming games. And we'll also take a look at some award winners. A lot of stuff coming your way over the next hour or so as you enjoy some of the highlights from the 2022 season. It won't be long before that 2023 season gets underway for the Bears, and we are all very much looking forward to that.
We are the change makers, the rebels, the champions. To be a Bear is to possess brains and brawn. To be a Bear is to have an insatiable hunger to win, in sports and in life. We are indomitable, unshakable, and unstoppable. We don't just play the game, we change it. Our style is not for everyone. We buck the status quo, we push the boundaries, we think and play outside the box. We are innovators, trailblazers, and leaders. We take our work seriously with unparalleled focus, unmatched humility, and unequaled joy. We are an uplifting community that empowers self-discovery in a way that makes everyone better. All on a campus that exhibits an inspiring spirit of creativity and collaboration. We are the Brown Bears, ever reaching, ever curious, ever resilient, ever true. Together, we roar.
And when you have a great season like the Bears did a year ago, as you might expect, many individual accolades follow. Brittany Ruffino, the senior, once again named the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year in 2022 and was a first-team All-Ivy member as well. No surprise, Brittany's just had a fabulous career in a Brown uniform, as has her teammate Ava Seelenfreud, also a first-team All-Ivy member. Ava was just fantastic again this past season for the Bears. Looking for big things from those two seniors coming up here in 2023. Ivy Honorable All-Mention honors went to that young lady right there as a junior, one of the captains, Cheyenne Allen. And again, Cheyenne, a leader not just from her midfield position on the pitch, but off the field as well, with her infectious personality, her positive attitude, and her tremendous leadership skills. She was very worthy of those Ivy honors a season ago, and looking for big things from Cheyenne this upcoming season. Likewise for Naya Cardoza, as a first-year student athlete, receiving Ivy Honorable Mention honors. Pretty impressive. Looking forward to a terrific career for Naya here on the east side of Providence. Jessica Hinton, 2022 Ivy League honorable mention honors as well. And Jessica will be heading into her senior campaign this year. This is a senior class that is just loaded with talent, and Jessica certainly being a big part of that. And sophomore goalkeeper Bella Shop. Ivy honorable mention honors as a first-year goalkeeper between the pipes, and she was just sensational backstopping the Bears defense there. Let's take a look at the upcoming home schedule for the 2023 season, and there you see it right there. Bears have the Albany Great Danes coming to Stevenson-Pinson's Field on August 25th to begin the upcoming season, and shortly thereafter that, you've got the University of San Diego coming to town. UC San Diego, that match will be on September the 3rd, and 11 a.m. start for that one. The St. Louis Billikens out of the Atlantic 10 will come to town September the 6th, and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons out of the Atlantic Coast Conference will pay a Sunday visit on September the 10th here to Providence, Rhode Island. Looking ahead at some of the other home matches, Portland coming to town on September the 14th for a 7 o'clock game under the lights. And then it is intrastate rival Rhode Island. The Rams will be coming to town on the 17th of September. And then you get into those Ivy games. The Harvard Crimson, the Princeton Tigers. That big match in the Ivy League with Princeton will take place on September the 30th at 4 o'clock at Stevenson-Pinson's Field. The Penn Quakers, they will be coming to town on October the 7th, a Saturday for a 7 o'clock matchup with the Bears. And as we close it out, there you see the Dartmouth Big Green will wrap up the regular season for the Bears on October the 28th here in Providence, Rhode Island. And then will the Bears be the top seed once again? If so, they would host that Ivy tournament that you see right there. The Ivy League going back to a men's and women's soccer postseason tournament this year. They had it many, many years ago. They're bringing it back, and the top 4 seeds will qualify for the Ivy tournament. The Brown Bears have been a perennial NCAA tournament team over the past few seasons, and they will be hosting a bunch of NCAA tournament teams this year from a season ago. You take a look at that graphic right there. The St. Louis Billikens, Portland, Wake Forest, Harvard, all 2022 NCAA tournament teams, so you can expect to see some great soccer matches at Stevenson-Pinson's Field this fall as the Bears host all 4 of those teams that also qualify for the NCAA tournament a season ago. And as we transition from that, let's take a look at some of the key returners for the Bears this upcoming season. They got a bunch of players, and you see right there, we talked about many of them receiving all Ivy honors, starting with Naya Cardoza, Cheyenne Allen, Jessica Hinton, Maya Grant Clavio, Brittany Ruffino, and of course Ava Seelenfreud. Of course, key losses, Kayla Duran will no longer be here, nor will Zoe Maxwell. So a couple of big losses for the Bears, but boy, this program doesn't seem to rebuild. They just reload every year. And then, of course, there's that sensational duo right there, the senior duo of Brittany Ruffino and Ava Seelenfreud. You look at what they did last year, each scoring 10 goals, 24 points for Ruffino, 21 for Seelenfreud. You see the shots on goal percentage. I mean, they were just terrific, and I would be very surprised, quite frankly, if one of those two probably weren't Ivy Player of the Year in 2023 as well. That is how good those two young ladies have been. We're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back, we will go over the season ticket promo information for Brown Women's Soccer. You want to know how you can come see this team play? We'll let you know that. We'll also let you know about some of the in-game promotions that you can look forward to this fall. You're watching coverage of the Ivy League Media Day for the defending Ivy League champion Brown Women's Soccer team, and we're back with more right after this.
Another beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Southern New England. Firing deep down the left side, has a man open, caught, touchdown, Graham Walker. And he is going to be dropped in the backfield. Fires to the end zone, caught, touchdown. He breaks loose, touchdown. Wow. The local kid, Nate Lucier, breaks in for the Bears and puts them
And Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Brown Women's Soccer's Media Day here on the east side of Providence. I'm your host, Scott Cordischi. The three-time defending Ivy League champions looking to make it 4 straight Ivy titles. And if you want to come out and see the Bears play, we're going to let you know how you can do just that. And I'll tell you right now, there may not be a better bang for your buck in terms of sports tickets here in the Ocean State than coming to see this Brown Women's Soccer team play. They have 9 home matches this year, and you can get season tickets for as low as $35. They're on sale now. You can visit brownbears.com/tickets to get your Brown Women's Soccer season tickets. Again, 9 home matches. 4 NCAA tournament teams will be visiting Stevenson-Pinsent's Field this season. And if you've got kids, you ought to think about signing your kids up for Bruno's Cub Club. What's that all about? Well, it's a terrific thing for young kids that love Brown athletics, or just athletics in general, or maybe they just love Bruno. You see, the VIP membership there is $50, and that includes admission to all regular season home games here at Brown. 50% off football and basketball season tickets for parents or guardians. You get 50% off of a Bear Paw Pass for parents and guardians, exclusive in-game opportunities, video board features. You get a backpack, a t-shirt, a beanie for your child, ticket vouchers to invite family and friends to games. You get a birthday card from Bruno and a monthly Cub Club newsletter. That's the VIP membership, and you get all that for just $50. There is a standard membership that you can sign up for free, which includes free admission to select games. You also get a birthday card from Bruno and a monthly Cub Club newsletter as well. Bruno's Cub Club. We started this up a couple of years ago. It's been a big hit. The kids absolutely love it. Now, how about some of the in-game promotions for the Brown Women's Soccer team this year? We've got lots of them to highlight, starting with the September 10th game against Wake Forest. It'll be Youth Day. The Kids Zone will consist of an inflatable obstacle course, lawn games, and more. It'll be open to kids 1 hour prior to kickoff and until the conclusion of halftime. The September 14th matchup against Portland will be the blackout game. All fans encouraged to wear black to that contest. September the 17th, Rhode Island, that game needs no promotion. That's your in-state rivals, the Rhody Rams. We expect a good crowd for that one. September 30th against Princeton, it's the Ivy opener for the Bears. It's also going to be the Pride game here at Brown University. On October the 7th, breast cancer awareness game against the Penn Quakers. And then moving ahead to the final game against Dartmouth at home on October the 28th, it will be Senior Day. The seniors on the team will be honored, and Alumni Day as well. So it'll be a lot of fun celebrating Brown soccer stars, both past and present, at that one. We're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back with our continuing coverage of our Women's Soccer Media Day here today, we're going to talk with head coach Kia McNeill. We'll be back with more right after this.
We are the change makers, the rebels, the champions. To be a Bear is to possess brains and brawn. To be a Bear is to have an insatiable hunger to win. In sports and in life, we are indomitable, unshakable, and unstoppable. We don't just play the game, we change it. Our style is not for everyone. We buck the status quo, we push the boundaries, we think and play outside the box. We are innovators, trailblazers, and leaders. We take our work seriously with unparalleled focus, unmatched humility, and unequaled joy. We are an uplifting community that empowers self-discovery in a way that makes everyone better. All on a campus that exhibits an inspiring spirit of creativity and collaboration. We are the Brown Bears, ever reaching, ever curious, ever resilient, ever true. Together, we roar.
And welcome back to our continuing coverage of Media Day for the three-time defending Ivy League champion Brown women's soccer team. I'm your host, Scott Cordischi. Glad you could join us, and we are thrilled to be joined right now by the head women's soccer coach here at Brown University, Kia McNeill. Kia, how are you?
I'm doing well, Scott. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you for being with us. An exciting time of the year, right? You've a few practices in. How has practice been going?
Yeah, practice has been amazing. I can hardly keep the smile off my face watching this team play. You know, we definitely had some freshmen come in and really make an impact with the team so far, and obviously we've had a lot of experience, with Brittany, Ava, Cheyenne coming back to the group, so definitely a lot of talent, a lot of experience, and now it's just about getting on the same page.
I know most coaches will say that great players make coaches look good, or make great coaches, right? And I think that's true. I think you have to have good players to win at whatever the level might be. The thing is, you've been able to recruit those players, you and your staff, into this program. My question to you is, before, when you took over, you were recruiting a vision. Here's my vision for the program. You are now recruiting to a program which is the gold standard, or the championship program in the Ivy League. I guess my question is, how were you able to do it back then, and is it easier to recruit now because of the success you've had?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think anytime you've had success as a program, it makes recruiting a bit easier. You definitely have more people coming to knock down your door and want to play for your program, which is a great problem to have as a coach. But I think the biggest thing for me, and I think the biggest thing that people are starting to see, is that you can get a high academic education and you can compete to win championships. I think a lot of people think you have to choose one or the other, and here, a big stance we make from a recruiting standpoint is the fact that you can have both. You can have an elite education, and you can have elite soccer experience as well. So, when people look at our program, they really see us as the best of both worlds. So I think a lot of our, recruiting has really been based around that now.
As a former Boston College Eagle, you know that you can balance great academics with great athletics, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I've had this conversation with you in the past, too. When you came in, you said maybe the biggest hurdle you had to clear in terms of trying to build a championship program was the mentality piece, right? Getting people over the mentality, oh, no, we can't beat that team, or if this team was dominating the league, oh, that's going to be a tough game. No. That we can and we will beat every team on our schedule, right? Was that one of the biggest hurdles for you to get your student athletes and other coaches to clear?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one thing that I always say is I feel like winning is a habit and losing is a habit. So I think initially, early on, we really had to build the confidence of this group to know that they can compete with anybody in the conference and really anybody in the country. And so I think our strength of schedule over the past few years has really advanced itself. We're playing some of the top teams in the country, getting results against those teams. And I think when you're playing, that caliber of competition and staying in those games and even winning those games, it just shows that, when we come back to the Ivy League, we can play with anybody here too. So initially, early on, we looked at certain programs as this big Goliath, but, now we're the Goliath of the league.
Your team took another fabulous trip this year, this time to Italy. Tell us about that. How did the trip go? And is it about getting the team together early and competing, or is it as much about maybe bonding and coming together and developing that chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, the team bonding that you experience, going to a different country together and, playing against professional teams and just spending 10, 11 days together as a team in a close-knit environment. Inevitably you're going to grow as a group, which we definitely did. But it was such an incredible experience. It was a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing to experience with your team. And I thought the coolest part was coming back to Boston and, everybody's going their different ways, flying back home. And, my team's in the airport, crying, saying goodbye to each other. And I'm telling them, we're going to see each other in 2 weeks, guys. It's okay. But, that just shows that the love, the family environment that we have as a team. We have a really great culture and a great camaraderie amongst the group. So that was a really special trip to share.
You talked about playing a challenging schedule, and again, you have one this year. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, you have 4 home games against tournament teams from a year ago.
Yep.
I assume this is by design.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, we want to be known as one of the top teams in the country, and if you want to be known that way, you have to play some of the top teams in the country, in the top conferences in the country. So, you know, we have Wake Forest coming out to play us here. We have St. Louis University coming out to play us here. We have Portland coming out to play us. You know, those are all great games to get on the schedule for us to get ready for Ivy play.
You had so many players receive all Ivy honors a year ago, led, of course, by Brittany and Ava. Just the careers they've had have been nothing short of amazing. They're coming back, I think, Brittany, obviously, for a 50-year, quote-unquote, the COVID year obviously allowing for that. But can you just talk about those two in particular, and in general the senior class, which really is a very talented one?
Yeah, I mean, Brittany and Ava, they're both such special people. You know, I feel like they've really grown through this program, even with me, and yep. You know, it's no mistake that, you know, they've won 3 championships in the 3 competitive seasons that they've had together. I mean, they play with their heart on their sleeve. They're clinical in the final third, and they've really built, you know, this program to be what it is today. You know, you can't be a great team and win championships if you don't have people that are going to put the ball in the back of the net and really carry the team in moments, and they've definitely done that and beyond. So they've had amazing careers, and I hope both of them go on and have a great professional career as well. You had 2 freshmen receive all Ivy honors a year ago, and you also have a very talented incoming freshman class. Is that correct? Yeah, we have a great incoming freshman class. Audrey Lamb, you know, she's on the youth national team. Joy, she's a right to dream player who really gives us a lot of rhythm and different dynamic in the midfield. So I think, you know, those 2 players specifically are really adding to our midfield core. Gerline Torr, she's a phenomenal goalkeeper from Canada. You know, another rising upcoming star. But the entire class so far has really, you know, made their names known, and you know, they came in fit, they came in hungry, and they're really pushing, so it's been great. And you bring up some foreign players, recruiting not just nationally but internationally as well. Yeah, I mean, Brown's an international name, so we got to get out there not only in our country here, but we got to get out there in Canada and Europe and all across the world to make sure that, you know, we're leaving no stone unturned in terms of, you know, the best student athletes to bring into our program. Is it different? Is it more difficult, no longer being the hunter but being the hunted? Yeah, I mean... You're getting every team's best shot, aren't you? Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think we had a talk early on in preseason about it's not about us being back, it's about us being better. So, you know, we want to continue to evolve and grow as a program and be unpredictable to play against. So, you know, as other teams rise to the occasion to play us, we want to continue to be better than that. We want to continue to evolve and grow and just continue to be a dynamic team in the league. So when I hear you say that, and I know there will be a ring ceremony where the team will receive their rings, once that happens, do you put last year behind you? Is it 0-0 now moving forward? Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk a lot about not resting on past laurels. You know, this is a different team. You know, we're not having the same starting lineup. We can't have the same starting lineup. So, you know, I think the more that we can learn from the past in terms of what we can achieve and what we can do, but kind of move forward in the future and put the past behind us, it's a good thing for this team and for our program. Every year is a new year. It's a time to, you know, create something new and create history in a different way. 2-time Ivy League Coach of the Year, should be 3-time, but that's my own opinion. Anyway, having said that, you have had opportunities to move on from Brown. You've had interest, and I can understand why with the amazing success you've had here, yet you've chosen to stay here at Brown. Why? Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing university to work at. You know, I feel really supported not only by the athletic director but by the president of the university as well. You know, Chris Paxton, she's been very supportive of our program and of the athletic department as a whole. And I think when you have something special like that, it's really hard to walk away from.
Yeah, and I'm sure you see this, and I don't know how much it means to you personally, but with the success that you and your program have had, it has generated a tremendous amount of excitement, not just for the athletic department, but for the university. You see the students come out late in the season, particularly when you guys are, ready to compete or clinch another Ivy championship or host an NCAA tournament game. What does that mean to you and your players when you see your team and your play energizing an entire community?
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible feeling as a coach to be the leader of this program and kind of, being that starship program that can entice people to come out to games. I go out in downtown Providence and people are talking about our team and that they came to watch our games and that we're inspiring young women to, get into the game, and that's really special to me as a coach. So, the more we can kind of do our job as a program for this school and for this university, that makes me really proud.
In another week, you'll be opening things up. Yep. You ready?
Yeah, we're ready. I mean, it's been nice. We had a few more days of preseason this year, so it's been nice that we've been able to integrate our nutritionist, sports psychologist, and just get some additional rest too. So that's been really great. But the team's definitely going to be ready this year.
I know they called it three-peat. I have no idea what they call it when you're going for a fourth straight. But good luck to you and the team, and I'm sure you will be considered the preseason favorites, and we'll all be rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Kia McNeil, our head coach of our women's soccer team here at Brown University. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to that dynamic duo of Ava Seelenfreud and Brittany Ruffino when we continue right after this.
Another beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Southern New England. Firing deep down the left side, has a man open, caught, touchdown, Graham Walker. And he is going to be dropped in the backfield. Fires to the end zone, caught, touchdown. He breaks loose, touchdown. Wow. The local kid, Nate Lucier, breaks in for the Bears and puts them on.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Media Day for the Brown women's soccer team. They've three-peated. They're looking for their fourth Ivy League championship in a row, and I would imagine a big part of that process will be the two young ladies that are joining me right now, a pair of seniors and a pair of first-team All-Ivy players from a year ago. To my right, we have Brittany Ruffino. Brittany, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And to your right, we have Ava Seelenfreud. Ava, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you both for joining me. Congratulations on another Ivy championship. It doesn't get old.
No, it never does.
No. And congratulations to both of you being named once again first team All-Ivy.
Thank you.
And for you, Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year. The accolades continue. All-American. I could go on and on. They don't end. But I guess the moral of the story is since you two and this senior class arrived, you've enjoyed nothing but success here at Brown. It's been a lot of fun as a fan to watch it happen. What's it been like for you two to be a part of it?
I mean, being part of a winning team is like exactly what you would ever hope for because you work so hard and then the work is translated into success on the field. So I think it's great to be rewarded with that type of success in the way of winning. So
I know athletes are competitive and you expect to win every game that you compete in, but did you think when you came in here 4 years ago that you would have the type of success that you have as a team and individually?
of course we were hoping for that. That was a big part of the reason I came. It's because Kia had this vision for the team, and I just remember after the first one, the sophomore class was like, I want you guys to have 4 rings. And I think about that every single time I start the season. We can do so much more than what we originally thought.
So tell both of you, why did you decide to come back for your 5th year? For that 4th ring?
For that 4th ring. Every single time. It was actually after we lost to, I think it was St. John's my junior year. That's when I decided I wanted to come back. I went straight to Kia and said, I'm not done. We have more in us. There's more to give to this program. And so, yeah, I know we can go further. I know we can do more. I know we can make more history.
Ava, how about you?
I took a semester off during COVID, so I got to retain my eligibility that way. But it's easy. It's an easy place to come back to. The team's amazing. Our success has been great. And, if we can go 4, I'm all for it. So.
Why? Tell us in your eyes why. Why has this program been so successful?
I think from the start, Kia was recruiting players like us, and we were
we were told that we have something to do, and like they wanted to elevate the program and elevate everything we've had. And so from my freshman year to now, I think every single year we've elevated and people are bought in. The coaching staff is bought in for that mindset, and I think that translates all the way out.
So you two are fifth-year seniors. I understand we have a very talented incoming freshman class as well. So does that set this program up for future success? And can you talk to us about this incoming class? I know you've only had a few practices so far, but what are they like?
Of course, Kia told us just now when we were doing our meetings that we've won our championship in a different formation every year. And so coming back and being better, just elevating our program, we win because we're not doing the same thing. And so these incoming freshmen are coming in and they're giving us another level of our game. We have some great midfielders, some great defenders, some great attackers, some great goalkeepers too. So it's not just in game we're getting elevated, it's also in practice making each other better.
If I'm not mistaken, back-to-back 20-plus point seasons for you, which is, I think, only the second person in program history to accomplish that. And did you have 19 points your first year?
Maybe.
I think you did. So you're like 1 point away from 3 consecutive 20-plus point seasons. But Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, again, for the second straight year. And 3 straight first-team All-Ivy appearances. I don't want to say it's effortless, but it looks that way when you watch you play. I mean, what has it been like for you?
Honestly, I don't really think of those much. It just kind of comes, but with my teammates around me, like they make me look as good as, I guess, the outside seem. I can't score those goals without those great passes. I can't get my game, sharpen my game, my touches without the practice. People pushing me, going against defenders like Naya and Jess, pushing me every single day to be my best.
And Ava, likewise for you, you've put up some pretty impressive numbers as well. Is it a situation where your team and your forward line is hard to defend because there are so many talented options to defend?
Yeah, I talked to my mom about this. It's like Brittany she can jump. It looks like 10 feet high when I'm standing next to her, and so like when she's up for corners, they could double team her. But yes, we have so many options for that type of thing. So yeah, I think playing alongside people who are this great bring even more to the game. So. You're
from California, correct?
Yes.
So tell us why you chose Brown. You came all the way cross country. Were you sold on Kia? Was something about Brown University, about the program? What was it that made you choose Brown?
I think for me, I've always wanted to experience the East Coast. When I visited Brown, that was the second time I'd ever been East, and I think Brown sells itself. The academics, Kia, I love the team that I met on our little official. But yeah, I wanted to experience something new, and it is completely different from California, and I've loved every second.
Brittany, you're only about 40 minutes north of here, right? Randolph, Massachusetts. What was behind your decision to pick Brown?
I definitely wanted to stay close to home. My family's a big part of my soccer journey, so I wanted them to be able to come to as many games as possible. And being that close, I wanted to feel that sense of home. And right away when I met Kia and the rest and coaching staff, they brought me in with open arms, and it just felt comfortable.
What's next for the two of you? What are your concentrations? What will you be graduating with degrees in? And have you given thought to the next chapters of your lives?
Yeah, so I'm graduating with a degree in biomedical engineering. I think we both aspire to play professional, and I guess we don't know exactly what that looks like, or I don't know exactly what that looks like right now, but yeah, we'll just take this season and then hopefully start running with the professional.
Coach played some professionally, did she not?
She did. Yeah.
So she can be, I guess, a good sounding board for you, right?
Yes. I know. I was talking to my parents, and they're like, what does come next? I'm like, I'm going to talk to Kia and see what comes next through her, but yes.
Brittany, how about you? What's your concentration?
Health and human biology, and I'm on a pre-PA track. So
okay.
Maybe that after soccer.
Okay. Well, final question. You two and this program have generated so much excitement, not just within athletics, but campus-wide. And you see what it's like, particularly late in the season when you guys are set to clinch another Ivy championship and the stands are packed with Brown students, and then you host an NCAA tournament game, and likewise it's packed and it's a great atmosphere. What's it like to not just be a part of that, but know that you're responsible for generating that type of excitement across campus?
It honestly doesn't feel real. We got so much love and support after the UC Irvine game, and coming back and seeing people that saying congratulations and talking to us about how great of a year we had, and I've never met them. It honestly doesn't feel real.
Is it neat being such a tremendous source of pride?
Oh yeah, I think a really cool spot is when we talk to professors too, and they know our stats, or they know how we just did in last game, and they're egging us on to play hard the next one. It's really cool to see when it's not just student body, but it's also professors and faculty members. It's really
So the opener next week against Albany, how do you prevent from being complacent? I mean, you've won 3 straight championships, and you'll probably be picked to win a 4th straight. But how do you prevent complacency and resting on your championship laurels, if you will?
Kia, in our first meeting this previous week, kept telling us it's not about being back, it's about being better. And so we're going to come out and not play like we're the 3-time IB champs. We're going to be better than that.
Yeah, everyone's bought into that, so we have to just come out and actually play as hard as we can, because it's not given, and the only way we can prove that is by providing and doing those things.
They open it up August 25th against Albany right here at Stevenson-Pinson's Field. Come on out and check them out. We'll take a break. My thanks to Ava. My thanks to Brittany for joining us. We'll be joined by a few of their teammates coming up next when we continue with our Media Day coverage of the Brown women's soccer team right after this.
We are the change makers, the rebels, the champions. To be a bear is to possess brains and brawn. To be a bear is to have an insatiable hunger to win, in sports and in life. We are indomitable, unshakable, and unstoppable. We don't just play the game, we change it. Our style is not for everyone. We buck the status quo, we push the boundaries, we think and play outside the box. We are innovators, trailblazers, and leaders. We take our work seriously with unparalleled focus, unmatched humility, and unequaled joy. We are an uplifting community that empowers self-discovery in a way that makes everyone better. All on a campus that exhibits an inspiring spirit of creativity and collaboration. We are the Brown Bears, ever reaching, ever curious, ever resilient, ever true. Together, we roar.
And we welcome you back to our continuing coverage of our Women's Soccer Media Day for the defending Ivy League champion, Scott Cordischi with you, and we are happy to be joined by a few members of this year's team. Sitting across the table from me is a senior from Bear, Delaware, Cheyenne Allen. Cheyenne, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
And to your left and 2 spots to my right, we have a sophomore, Naya Cardoza from Ajax, Ontario. How are you, Naya?
I'm really good. How are you?
It's Naya, not Naya, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Naya.
Thank you. And to my immediate right, we have a senior from Middletown, Connecticut. Is that right? Jessica Hinton. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to start with you, Cheyenne. Returning for a 5th year, quote unquote. You liked it so much the first 4 years, you decided to come back for one more. Tell us what was behind your thinking.
Yeah, it was actually my junior year after St. John's. I sat and I was like, I can't do this one last time next year. So I was like, let's just do it 2 more times. So, yeah.
I mean, your team has enjoyed so much success. 3 consecutive IB championships, obviously going for a 4th. I would imagine that had something to do with your decision as well, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I try and, give my energy and give my all into the sport and to this team. And it turned out great. So, yeah.
Naya, in your second year with the program, all Ivy honors as a freshman. That's pretty impressive. How did your first year go being a member of this team?
Honestly, I was playing a different position, so it took a little while to get used to, but I think like just the support from the staff and like my team, I love this team. They made me that player and be able to be in that position to win those honors. So really I can attribute it all to them mostly.
And tell us about your decision to choose Brown. I'm sure you had multiple offers coming out of high school. The success of this program, did that have a lot to do with it, or tell us what made this the right fit for you?
Yes, honestly, I was coming in hungry for another ring, but when I came down for my official visit, I just knew like this was a school that I wanted. I met all the girls and the staff and even just saw like the environment of the school, and I knew that this is exactly where I wanted to spend for the rest of my 4 years in college.
Jessica, likewise for you last year, all Ivy honors as well, and you started 17 games last year, correct? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I may have made a mistake with the all Ivy thing, but I apologize. But tell us, what was it like last year for you, in terms of the amount of time that you played and how you contributed to the team, and I guess just take us through that.
It was good. We changed from a 4-back to a 3-back, which was sort of hard.
Yeah.
But we had a really solid back line, and I had a lot of people to lean on. So.
And you had a sophomore goalkeeper as well. I mean, a freshman goalkeeper last year that did a pretty good job backstopping things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she did.
And big shoes to fill as well. Mm-hmm. And I believe Bella received all Ivy honors, didn't she?
Did, yeah.
I think she was honorable mention all Ivy. So you're a captain, and tell us what comes with that, the responsibility.
Yeah, there is a big responsibility, but it feels easy to fulfill because I know I'm doing it for the team, and I know they're behind me and everything that I do, and so I just want to make sure I'm supporting them as much as I can.
Naya, did you have the game winner against Central Connecticut?
Yes.
Last year?
I used to be a forward, so honestly, I like being anywhere near the goal. It's fun. But yeah, honestly, it was like just like this big moment for me and even just like the team, and I love spending it with this team specifically. So it was honestly, we're looking for some more. That's what it is. But yeah.
Jessica, you're a senior. Tell us what, in your opinion, is behind the success of this program. Why does this team enjoy success at such a high level year after year after year?
Well, I think our coaches do an excellent job recruiting and bringing in good people and good athletes. But in other terms, I think that we're all able to trust each other on the field, off the field, and we just have really good team culture.
So you two would be good people to ask this question to. When Coach recruited you, we didn't yet have that championship culture. She was trying to create that, establish that. Now she has, right? And so I would argue it's easier to recruit to this program now than it was when you two chose Brown, because we hadn't enjoyed that type of success yet, right? So take us back to your days when you were being sold on Brown women's soccer. Why did you decide to come here?
Right. I'd say Kia's a great coach. I think just speaking with her on the phone a ton of times really helped make my decision. And when I came on campus, I fell in love with campus and I fell in love with the school. So that was a plus as well.
Now, she's not just a great coach. She's the best coach. In my opinion, the best coach in the Ivy League and the best coach maybe here at Brown. I've always said this. If I were a coach and I were hired tomorrow to be a head coach at Brown in any sport, the first person I would go to is Kia, and I'd say, tell me how you do it. Yeah. What's the secret to your success, right? What makes her a great coach?
For me, what makes Kia a great coach is that she has an open door policy, so anyone can come in with their problems or what they need to talk about. And she definitely hears our feedback, and she pushes us as hard as we can in practice every day.
You beat Rutgers at Rutgers in the opening round of the tournament last year before falling in the second round. Is there a feeling at all of unfinished business? I know you feel like this team can do even better than that.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, that was the kind of part of our motto, unfinished business. This year, we're going to be coming back, trying to advance even further than we can. And I personally believe that our team can do it. I know that our coaches believe that, and our whole team supports that. So we're looking to go even further this year. So,
Cheyenne, take us back to that first season when you won that first of 3 consecutive Ivy championships. as opposed to where we are now. Back then, you were the hunters. Yeah, now you're the hunted. You have a target on your back. Everybody's gunning for Brown because you guys are the standard bearer in Ivy League women's soccer. What's the difference? What's it like?
Now, like you said, we have a target on our back. We just need to work way harder than we have in the past before. I think with people hunting us, there's a lot of things you can get lost in, but I think we have a really good team and a solid squad who are all bought in, and yeah, I think we can make things happen this year again.
Now, Jessica, you're not a fifth-year senior, right? This is your true senior year. Is that correct? Have you given thought to what comes next? Would you consider coming back another year?
I have considered it.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna use my other year for grad school so that I can get money toward grad school.
That's a smart decision. So that's your plan to go to grad school next year?
Yes.
What are you concentrating in?
Education and political science.
And ideally, what would you like to do when you're finished with your schooling?
I'm a little undecided right now, but I definitely want to work with kids and like counseling maybe, or
Okay.
social work or something like that.
Cheyenne, how about you? What's next for you after this season?
Yeah, I'm preparing for PA school, so
Okay.
it'll be a little bit of a rocky road, but I'm prepared. I'm ready for it.
Okay, and what's your you don't have to have a concentration yet, right?
No,
End of the sophomore year, you have to pick one?
Yes, I am currently interested in education and the policy around education, but I still have a little bit of ways to go, so you guys will be seeing lots of me.
Next week, the season opens against Albany. You all excited?
Yes.
Oh yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, congratulations on last year's championship. But as Coach said, we talked to her earlier, you're now 0-0 once again, right? So as much as it's nice to celebrate, get that championship ring, once you get that ring, do you have to put last year behind you?
Oh yeah, it's business now for sure. Yeah.
Well, good luck to all of you. Can't wait to see you guys out on the pitch. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we're going to wrap things up. That will do it for this edition of our Media Day coverage. A reminder, you can get your season tickets for Brown Women's Soccer at brownbears.com/tickets, and the Bears open up the season August 25th at home against Albany. Make sure you check them out. My name is Scott Cordischi. Thanks for joining us, everybody.